Hi, I'm Robert Bell from Pathway Connectivity here at LDI 2015, and this year I'd like to show you our new product, the Choreo Lighting Controller, not Control Console. It is based on the Cognito Control Console, which has been very popular because of all of the features that simplify running moving lights and RGBs and other kinds of LEDs, and makes it easy, as we say, select, control, record, play, because those are the tasks you do. But we've stripped away all of the hardware of the Cognito console and we've put it into a 3-gang standard wall box, and this is the whole product right here. It's got lots of connectivity on the back. There's Ethernet, and it will run power over Ethernet and streaming ACN and all of the stuff you expect on Ethernet. Plus, you can power it up if you'd like. There's 2 DMX directly on the back. There's auxiliary for DMX in and serial. And these contacts, which I'm going to demonstrate, which really do simplify the playback down to the most simple form. So running one here in the booth, it's hooked up, and I can grab a bunch of RGB lights, and if I just double tap, they'll take them to full, and there they are up in the booth. And what I can do is I can pick a color, and I could maybe even put an intensity effect on those, like a wave. So now there's a wave of green lights playing up there. But let me do something with the moving light that shows it's real power. So I'm going to grab this light here, number 13. It's a pretty bright light here. But I'm going to, after I've been in the select mode, I'm going to go into control. I'm going to go into position, and I'm going to tilt the light out so it's on the floor. Then what I might do is I might put in a color, and grabbing my shapes, I'm going to select a gobo, and then I'm going to sharpen that up with the edge control. And I really like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy everything I've done on that light to another light, another very light. And there we go, that looks great now. And what I'm going to do is add both of those guys into doing a little bit of movement. So I go into control, I go into position, I add an effect. I'll say let's add a can-can effect. So now we have quite a bit of action happening. And if I'm happy with this, what I can do after select, after control, I go into record, and I select an empty position, and I could just call this can-can. And just to make it a little bit more subtle, I'll give it a bump on time and a bump off time. There we go. So now when I go into the last select, control, record, if I go into the play mode, here is a little slider that will bring it up and do a can-can. Now this interface is pretty good for somebody who's programming in them, but for a facilities manager or a bartender, that might be a bit much. So what we do is we allow them to lock down this station into what we call wall station mode, and it has a much simpler interface. So now they can just run them up and down, or they can just hit a button and it will start up the can-can. They let go. Now I talked about the contact closures on the back. What we did is we just took an 89-cent Decora wall switch and hooked up the contacts to trigger this guy. So now, if I want that very complicated yellow can-can from the very lights, it's all connected up to this one switch here. It goes off and on. It couldn't get simpler than that. So that is the Choreo Lighting Controller from Pathway Connectivity. Thank you very much. Very good. If you want to know more about the Choreo Lighting Controller, have a look at our website at pathwayconnectivity.com.